the nurse comes in and says, just like this. Yeah, her back's broke. You gonna say that and then walk out of here like that? Come back. What the fuck you mean my back broke? Hey friends, hey, it's Maya, and thank you for tuning in to my channel. If you're new here, stick around. I hope you like the vibes, and if you're not new here, you know the vibes. But anyways, I'm doing a lot, but I just wanted to make a video because me and my mom were supposed to make a video yesterday, or today, tomorrow. I don't know, I'm all over the place. Me and my mom were supposed to make a video tomorrow that I was going to post on Wednesday. My mommy is sick. So now I have nothing to post, and I kind of want to keep the consistency going, so I'm gonna post something. I don't know. And this story is also, I guess we can also tie this into why I know one time, I'm not gonna say any names, but I've had someone ask me why I believe in God, and they were like, do you believe in God because, you know, that's what you were taught? And I'm like, no, I literally believe in God because God has literally shown me that he's real. So when I was 16 years old, I told y'all I was a cheerleader, and for games we would go get food before games, and I was like, oh, my daddy brought me $20, like, oh, I'm not eating concession stand food, baby, I'm going to get some real food. So there was this Mexican restaurant. I didn't get my license till I was 19, almost 20 years old. So there was this Mexican restaurant that me and my mama and my siblings liked, and it was like 10-15 minutes away from the school. Desiree had recently got a license, so we were like, oh, okay, I really want to go to this Mexican restaurant. Desiree's like, okay, I'll take you. We had got our stuff together because we usually went to go eat like right after the first bell, went to get our food, brought our food back, ate, and then prepped for the game, cheered, and all that stuff. It was me, the girl that I was talking about the last time, the girl who unfollowed me over $20, and then another girl who used to be my best friend. Her name was, I don't want to say people's names. I mean, it's not nothing bad, but I just want to say people's names. I'll say her name was Deborah. So it was Deborah, it was Brittany, and then I'll say Desiree. Y'all know Desiree. And Desiree. I just wanted some cheese dip, y'all. I didn't even get no tacos, no enchiladas, no quesadillas, nothing. I just got some cheese dip. Plain, simple cheese dip and chips. And so we were on the way back, and we were playing music, and I was playing music. I was on the aux, because I was always on the aux. I don't know, my music taste is just spectacular. So I was on the aux, and I was playing music, and then we were going, it was like, you could go on the freeway, but there was also like a back road that most of the people who went to our school knew and used, because it took us straight to our street. And I remember playing music, and I remember I was playing I'm in Love with a Stripper by T-Pain, right? I was playing that, and then I had turned it off because it was coming to the end, and I was about to play The Business by Young Bird, if y'all know what I'm talking about. Anyway, so that was the song that was next up. But as I was playing that song, Deborah's mother called her. So, being respectful, I stopped the music, paused it, and I was basically waiting on her to get off the phone. She was just, you know, how mamas are, just carrying conversation, just checking in on you, whatever. Because Deborah was on the dance team. Brittany was a cheerleader. Desiree was a cheerleader. I paused music, turned around. So I'm in the front seat like this. I was turned around like this, waiting on her to get off the phone. And that's the last thing I remember. And I looked up and saw the sky. And the first thing I thought was, what the fuck? And then I started trying to sit up, and I seen some lady. She was some black lady. She was like, whoa, 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 lay back down, lay back down. And I was like, what happened? When I realized I was laying on the ground, and that's why I could see the sky. So I'm like, I'm on the ground. And it was leaves around me, and it was dirt all in my hair. I had braids just like these. I had my bow in my hair and everything. A ponytail, it was like a side ponytail, because I was infamous for a side ponytail. It was like this, and I had a green bow. See, I got a bow. Give y'all a demonstration. So it was like this, basically. The bow was on top of my head like this. Side ponytail. Boom. I was 16. Anyways, and so once the lady pushed me back down, I was like, okay, I'm laying on the ground. It's dirt in my hair. What happened? Where's my mama? She was like, your mama's on the way. Your mama's on the way. And then she was like, you got in an accident. I'm like, wait? How did that happen? So I'm like, okay, starting to put pieces together because, mind you, I was playing music and the next thing you know, I'm on the ground. So I'm confused. And like, that lady was literally an angel. Like, I feel like God put her in that place and at that time for that moment, because without that lady, I would have spazzed the fuck out. So she was just rubbing my shoulders and telling me, calm down, you're gonna be okay. So I'm like, okay, I got in an accident. Then I remembered my friends. I was with my friends. Where are my friends? I could hear somebody just screaming. It was Brittany. She was just screaming. And I'm like, oh, this is serious. Finally, they get me in the ambulance. All I can think of is I cannot feel my back. I can't feel my back. Like, they telling me don't move my neck. They telling me be still. And all I can think of is fuck what y'all talking about. I can't feel my back. Why can I not feel my back? That's why I didn't know I was laying down. It didn't register to me that I was laying down because I couldn't feel that. It literally, like, it felt like nothing. So I'm like, why can I not feel my back? They get me up on the gurney, and that's when I started feeling pain when they moved me. And so they put me up on it. They get me to the ambulance. It was me and Brittany, and then it was Deborah and Desiree in one. And I'm like, are you okay? You know, she wasn't really responsive. I'm like, oh my God, Miss Keisha, oh my God, she fucking dead. That's literally how I was feeling, like, she's dead. And the lady, literally, she was with me up until they got me to the ambulance. She couldn't get in the ambulance with me. She don't know me. I'm just a regular random person, and she just stopped to help. And I'm like, where's my mama? And as soon as I'm screaming, my mama, I hear my mama's voice. When I tell y'all, everything in me just, like, I'm okay now. My mama, I hear my mama. That's my mama. That's my fucking mama, y'all. She was like, I'm right here. And they was trying to keep her off the ambulance. And I was like, that's my mama. And so I started screaming and going, like, you know, like, tripping, because that's my mama. What you mean she can't get on? If you don't let my mama on this motherfucking ambulance. So yeah, the people on the ambulance I had a very bad experience with, and I mean, it's off my collections now, but I had an ambulance bill on my credit for a while because I refused to pay them. Because, first of all, ambulances are expensive, y'all. That bill was $1,000. They were bad. They were tossing me around, and I was just like, literally, like, ow, y'all are hurting me. So my mom was getting upset. I'm telling y'all the story as it's unfolding, like, with me, but, like, there's also stuff going on in the midst that I wasn't aware of, because when we had the accident, the airbag came out and knocked me in the face. So I blacked out. It knocked me out. The airbag knocked me out. So I'm unconscious at this point. I don't know. I don't remember the accident. I don't remember the collision. Last thing I remember is turning backwards to look and see if she was off the phone. I still, to this day, this was in 2017, so this was 8 years ago, I have no recollection of what happened. I had to put the pieces together by stuff other people was telling me. Desiree, like, she'll tell you, like, she can remember the smell of the gas and all that. I don't remember the accident at all. But anyway, so basically, to make it make sense, because how was my mama showing up? I just woke up on the ground. How did they call my mama? So y'all remember I told y'all I was on the aux, right? I was playing songs off of YouTube because I had an Android at that time, so we didn't have, like, Apple Music on it, and my phone was unlocked. So when we first had the accident, so I blamed her for a long time, and I literally had to forgive her because I know she wasn't trying to hurt anybody. But the lady who hit us, so basically it wasn't Desiree's fault. It was nothing that we did. And it was crazy because I had posted us on Snapchat before, right before. I think it was either on the way to the place or on the way back. And so people assumed, and it was a rumor going on at school, that we did something that caused the accident. And I was ready to come back and fight. My cousins was like, you got a back brace. how you gonna fight in a back brace? I was ready to fight. It's like, why are y'all even talking about us? Like, wish us well, send us condolences, or shut up. Like, literally. And just so happened the lady that hit us was the mother of a girl on the dance team. And her brother also went to school with us. He was in the car. So she was trying to get him to work on time. My cousin's mother lives on this road that I wrecked on now. And every time I have to go to her house, I get so nervous because, like, it brings back memories. It's 2 lanes, one going this way, one going that way, but it's a lot of turns. And he was just like, it's a back road. It's through the woods. And there is a lot of woos. And we were on a woo. And she was on a woo. And she was trying to cross traffic. First of all, it's a double lane road. That's illegal. Second of all, it's a hill. You can't see. So she was trying to cross all those cars to get him to work. And we're going, woo. She's going, woo. And she hit us head on. So basically, that's what happened. It wasn't nothing that we did. It wasn't nothing that Desiree did. She wasn't driving distracted. Desiree is such, she drive a little crazy now. But back then, she was such a cautious driver. So it wasn't nothing that Desiree did. And that's why it made me so mad. Because why are y'all talking about stuff y'all don't know about? If y'all not wishing us well and hoping that we're better, then don't talk about me. Because the thing with me in high school is I didn't like none of the kids no way. So there was no reason for y'all to be talking about me anyway. You know what I'm saying? Now everything is starting to make sense. My phone was unlocked. So then my mother started telling me stuff. She was like, basically, my grandfather had to call her and tell her what happened. Because she was at work. They tried to call my mama first. My mama didn't answer. So they called my daddy. My daddy answered. He found out whatever, and then he called my grandpa, who then got in contact with my mama. So that's how everybody figured out, because my daddy answered the phone. My mama didn't answer. So flash forward back to the hospital. I remember vividly, they were like, we got to do an x-ray on you. So I'm like, okay, let's do the x-ray. And she was like, do you have any preference for music? I'm like, play Janae. Play Janae, because I was in love with Janae. I'm still in love with Janae, but I was so in love with Janae at that point. It was like an obsession. And I was like, play Janae. And I remember just sitting in that. It was, I can't remember what the machine's called, but it's the one, like the full body one that you have to lay in. And they played Janae the whole time, and I was in there just crying. And that's another reason why me and Janae, I feel like so connected, because literally in my darkest times, I turned to Janae. I was in there for like an hour and a half. Finally got me out. They took me to an emergency room bed. They had me in a neck brace because they knew something was wrong, but they didn't know what, which was why I was getting the scans. And they were like, I was like, can you please take this neck brace off of me? And they were like, no, we can't take the neck brace off. And I'm like, why can't you take the neck brace off? I can clearly tell you right now that it's not my neck. I can move my neck just fine if you would take the brace off. But, you know, it's protocol. I get it. So I finally get in an emergency room, and that's when people can, like, start coming to see me and, like, start talking. I'm immediately asking about my friends. Where's Desiree? Yeah, I'm asking about everybody else, too, but where's Desiree? For sure. Like, I didn't have my phone. I still had... And I was on my period, y'all. I was so pissed because to put me in the machine, they had to cut me out of my clothes. And they were like, we're going to have to cut you. I had my cheer jumpsuit on. I had my jacket. It said my name on it. And then I had my pants. I had my Spanx. And I had my cheer top. I didn't have my skirt or nothing on yet because I just had my jumpsuit on. They managed to get me out the jacket, but they couldn't get me out of my top, my pants. They had to cut everything off me. And I was like, please don't cut them off me. I'm on my period. Not only am I laying on my back, I can't move. I just got in an accident. I'm also on my period. So keep my cramps, blood, all that extra stuff. Yeah. So I'm pissed. They cut my fucking uniform. I spent a lot of money on that. I sold a lot of chocolate for that uniform. My foreign exchange friend, she was literally about to get in the car with us. And I was like, girl, we come right back. It's okay. And I'm so glad that that happened, because I would not have felt good about myself if her experience in America ended up in her being in a car accident. So I'm so glad she didn't go. I feel like that was God. Mind you, I hadn't seen my phone since 4 p.m. It's like 6 at this point. Also, my cousins Jade and Samara, they were like, Samara had to get her hair done or something. We going to do this. Do you want to come with us? Jay and Samara used to skip school all the time. They used to come to school 3 hours late. And I was like, I remember one time a whole incident happened. I can't tell y'all that story. We got to take that one to the grave. But I was literally in the backseat of Samara's car praying. I was like, God, if you get us out of this, I would never ride with Samara again. Because I didn't do nothing. But I would have been guilty by association. You know what I'm saying? And God got us out of there. And I said, I'm done with Samara. I was getting my ass on the bus faithfully. Me and Jay lived. It was my house here, Jay's house here. Because we all lived on the same land. Me and Jay lived 100 steps away from each other. And I got on the bus and Jay rode Samara every day. I was not playing with Samara. But, so they were like, we're going to do this. Do you want to come? I had a test. I was like, I gotta stay. I got a test. And they was like, look at you being all scholarly. You always teasing me. And then I got an accident. So I should have just left. But, so, everybody in the school is hearing it. Boom. It's spreading like wildfire. Everybody finally gets to the hospital. We're trying to figure out what's going on. They find Desiree. Her cousin told them that she was going to have to get her leg cut off. So they come telling me what she's saying. I'm like, huh? What? She had issues with her knee. I'm not sure exactly what it was. And so it sounded like they were trying to pop her knee back into place or something. I don't know, maybe move her, but she was yelling at the top of her lungs. And that broke my heart. Anybody who know me know how I feel about Desiree. Like, for real, for real. I love all my friends. I treat everybody equally. But it's just something about that motherfucking Desiree. I ain't saying she over nobody because I don't show favoritism. Like, but me and Desiree didn't see a lot together. So that broke my heart to hear her yelling like that. I was like, oh my God. I'm still laying on my back, flat on my back, just in pain. I'm like, okay, when y'all gonna bring me some pills? So I'm starting to ask the nurse for pills. I guess they trying to treat me like I'm a crackhead or something. Baby, I just got in a car accident and you don't know what's wrong with me. Bring me some pills right now. So I'm like, I need some pills. I'm in there singing. At this point, I made a song about it. I need some pills. Like, literally, I was in there doing that. Like, I see why they thought I was a crackhead, to be honest. I just play too much. I don't know. My mom said, do not show her your face. Do not show her face. She's going to freak out. Because, my job, I think I'm all that in bag of chips. So I'm like, what's wrong with my face? My mom was like, no, she is vain as hell. She's going to freak out. I realized I ain't seen my phone in hours. I'm like, where's my phone? They say, you can't have your phone because you're going to look at your face. My mama would not give me my phone. And after taking the test, running the test, looking at everything, the nurse comes in and says, just like this, my auntie can tell you, yeah, her back's broke. Excuse me? You gonna say that and then walk out of here like that? Come back. What the fuck you mean my back broke? So I'm like, okay, my back broke. Why the fuck y'all got me laying on it with no pills? My auntie cussed him out. After my auntie cussed him out, maybe 10, 15 minutes later, magically, they bring pills. Okay. I'm starting to be a little loopy. I realized I'm allergic to, it's oxycodone. I'm allergic to oxycodone. Didn't know that because I've never been in the hospital. Never had to be because I never broke nothing. Like I was a safe kid. I didn't really venture out. Everybody at least broke their arm, leg, or something. Nope, I went straight to my back. Overachiever, always have been. Made my face even worse. Now my lips swell. Now my mama's scared they're gonna kill me by giving me drugs I'm allergic to. So it's just a lot going on. I was in the emergency room for so long before they got me in the real room. Brittany had a concussion. Brittany was sitting behind me. So what happened when I was turned this way, when we hit, Brittany flew into the back of my seat. So they did more test things and everything, and they were like, yep, you fractured your, I think it was like 2, 4, and 5 vertebrae, something. I'm not, I don't know anything about science. I do law stuff. It was fractured in 3 places of my spine. It was a miracle that I wasn't paralyzed completely. And so they were like, yeah, we got to get you set up for a surgery because now you have to get screws put in your back. That's exciting. So finally, I get to get my phone and I see my face and I see why everybody was talking about my face. Don't let her look at her face. I'm going to put a picture right here. This is my face maybe 3 days later. I wonder how bad it was the day of because it was bad. I'm very conceited, and that was not it. The accident happened on Friday. I didn't get surgery till Sunday. So that's Friday, Saturday, Sunday in the hospital. Then Monday I was in the hospital. Tuesday I was in the hospital. Wednesday I got to go home. So basically everybody else did what they needed to do, got sent home. I was the last person still there. So I'm frustrated. And I felt like literally I blamed myself for the accident for so long because we didn't have to leave the school. We left because I wanted to leave. If I hadn't won the cheese dip, we wouldn't have been out there to begin with. But I had to tell myself that there's no way that I could have predicted that was going to happen. And that even if I was the one driving, it still wouldn't have been my fault. You know what I'm saying? Because it wasn't her fault. It's just literally, we blamed that lady for so long. But I had to forgive her. It wasn't her intentions to hurt us. But she did. After that, I'm going to put a picture of my x-ray right here too, so y'all can see. This is my x-ray after a month. After I had the surgery, I had to come back. So I was in a back brace. I also put that here. Before they would let me go home after I got my accident, I had to walk a lap around the hospital. Mind you, I hadn't walked in 5 days. At this point, I'm weak. I've been laying on my back for 5 days straight. So I'm like, okay, I gotta get out this bed and walk. The first time that I had to get up, they were trying to get me to get up. They had like a physical therapist. I threw up. It was just getting up, and I was so lightheaded. And it was just a lot on me. I threw up. And so I felt discouraged. I was like, oh, I'm never gonna go home because how am I gonna walk? Like, literally, it hurts. Everything hurts. And they came and fitted me for a brace. I got a custom made back brace. I had that back brace until my mother moved. I don't have it anymore, but I had the back brace for a long time. I kept it as memorabilia of the time that God saved my life, y'all. God saved my life. God saved my life. There's no way. And the doctor literally explained to me, like, you were lucky. If it would have went any other way, you could have been 1, dead, or 2, not able to walk again. But I am neither. And I was a junior that year, so I went to my senior year and I did graduate high school and I did cheer and I did win MVP of my cheer team my senior year. So it was just like everything that was set up for me to fail, didn't pass. No weapon against me shall ever prosper. And at that time in my life, it was like I wasn't doubting God, but sometimes I'd be like, if God was, I ain't gonna say I didn't think God was real, but I'd be like, why would God let me go through this stuff? Why doesn't God show up for me? And I had to be like, girl, that was God's way of saying, are you listening now? I'm not saying he put me in an accident, but it literally woke me up. It was like, okay. So it was a long recovery process. I was out of school for a month and a half, because this was December 1st, 2017. And the worst part about it was the recovery. I'm an independent woman. Like, I don't like nobody to do nothing for me. I never did, even at 16. So my mommy had to not bathe me. She had to assist me in the shower. I had to literally put a chair in the shower. I couldn't just get up and get out the bed when I wanted to. I couldn't move without my back brace. I had to have somebody come put my back brace on me until I taught myself how to put it on. Like, a lot of stuff I wasn't supposed to do, I did, because you can't tie me down for long. Like, I can't have it. It's like, if I gotta wear this back brace everywhere, I'm gonna teach myself how to do it. So I finally was able to go back to school, and I went back to school, but I had to wear the brace. And I was so embarrassed by the brace that I got for Christmas. I got a bunch of big old sweaters, because this was right before Christmas. I got a bunch of big old sweaters to wear with the brace. And so when I went back to school, I was just wearing all the sweaters on top of the brace. So nobody really knew I was in the brace. And then when I finally got out the brace, this is what I put on.
Could you get your brace now, bitch?
I was so excited to get out that race. Things could have went very differently for me. Y'all wouldn't be watching me today if things had went differently for me. But God was looking out for me. And because of that, I literally said I have to give every moment of my life to God. And like I said, I'm not the most, oh, I don't cuss, oh, I don't drink, oh, I do this, oh, I do that type of Christian. But, like, there's nothing that will ever compare with God. Like, if God came to me in a dream and said, you need to stop doing that because it's interfering with my relationship with you, it's gone. You need to stop talking to that person because they interfering. You can't hear me because they steady talking to you, gone. Everything can get gone by God. I'm not playing by him because he didn't play by me. So, yes, that is my story of how I almost died. How I almost was paralyzed because somebody didn't understand that those cars are weapons. And now I drive fast. I ain't gonna lie, I do drive fast now, but I don't drive reckless. Nothing is worth my life. Nothing is worth nobody else's life. So just remember that when y'all get on these roads. Be safe. I just guess this will be my video for the week because I don't have nothing to post this week, but I'm not even done my face, but honestly, I'm done with this video. That's my living, breathing testimony to the fact that he is so real and he, like, don't play by me. And once I realized God didn't play by me, I stopped playing by me. Thank y'all so much for tuning in. I'm about to go wash my face and I'm about to eat some ice cream and I'm about to lay down. Y'all have a good night.